Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to our reorganization meeting on this evening, January 7th, 2020. I can't believe I'm saying 2020, at the Howell Township building. At this time, I would like us all to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, but we will have a presentation of colors by Howell Township Police Honor Guard. We will also do the Pledge of Allegiance for the flag. We will do the Star Spangled Banner, which will be performed by Howell High School Rebel Yell, and the invocation will be by Pastor Chris McCarrick. Mike, sorry.
Excuse me, Mayor, can we do the call to order and opening statement and roll call first?
Oh, sure we can. Go ahead.
Let the minutes reflect that adequate notice of the holding of this reorganization regular meeting of the Howell Township Council was provided for in the following manner. By the posting of a copy of said notice upon the bulletin board in the Township Municipal Building on December 11th, 2019. By the emailing of a copy of said notice to the Asbury Park Press, Tri-Town News, and Star Ledger for information and publication on December 11th, 2019. By the filing of a copy of said form of notice in the Township Clerk's office on December 11th, 2019. The public will be allowed to attend and will be allowed to participate pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law. The public is reminded that civility and decorum will be maintained during the meeting. Any contracts awarded at this meeting or between now and the next meeting will be required to comply with the requirements of Public Law 1975, Chapter 127, NJAC 17:27. In accordance with the Fire Prevention Code, be advised that this facility is designed with emergency exits for your safety. Upon exiting the meeting room, they are to your left and to the right. Furthermore, smoking is not permitted in the municipal building. Please take note that this meeting is being videotaped for possible future broadcast on Howell Television. Roll call, Mr. Bonovich. Ms. Richmond.
Present.
Mr. Russo.
Here.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell.
Here.
Mayor Barker.
Present. Please stand.
Present. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Right. Face. A word. Pop.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight in this place and thank you that we can put our trust in you. And that as we do, as we hope in you and trust in you, you answer us. And you lead us, and you make our paths straight, and you give us wisdom and direction. And we're thankful that in the town of Howell, we have this opportunity to come and to gather and to meet. And we ask that we would keep our eyes and our minds focused on you, that you would lead us, because we need you. We need you in our homes. We need you in our town. We need you in our state and in our country. We need you to move among us and to do your work, God. We thank you that you are always with us and that we can always trust in you. It's in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. So, I'll ask for the nomination. You'll give me I'll ask for the thing, you'll give the nomination, and then we'll vote. Okay? So we're going to do the nominations for deputy mayor.
Mayor, I'd like to make a nomination for our current deputy mayor to serve additional year as deputy mayor, somebody who served Howell for a very long time, and I make that nomination.
And I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes.
Mayor, may I have the floor for a moment? Thank you. Before you get sworn in, Evelyn, I'd like to just let you know, I can't wait to serve another year with you. I think that your steady hand and your experience will help us here keep things moving along and make the town as great as it is, keep that going. So thank you for accepting the nomination, and I look forward to working with you this year.
Thank you.
The oath?
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell will be sworn in this evening by the Honorable Susan Schroeder Clark.
I, Evelyn O'Donnell,
I, Evelyn O'Donnell,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New
and
Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in the state under the color of the people.
and in the state and the color of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And I do solemnly swear
And I do solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly perform
and justly perform
the duties of the office of Deputy Mayor
the duties of the office of Deputy Mayor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. If you'll indulge me just a few moments, First, I'd like to thank my fellow council members for again having the trust and faith in me to do another year as deputy mayor in this great town of Howell. Also, I'm very happy to say thank you to the Honorable Susan Schroeder Clark for taking time out of her busy schedule to swear me in on my second year as deputy mayor. I had something written, but as usual, once I get here, I always think of something different. I will say that I moved here when I was 4. I've grown to love this town, and what I find specifically different about this town is the people that live here believe in this town. And because they believe in this town, they give things to this town that I think may not happen in other communities. I think when people believe in where they live and what they want and what they expect, we come together as one. I think that we've grown as a community. I feel that we have a fiber in this community that can't be broken. I do believe that everyone in this room and everyone at home does believe that Howell is a great community and will strive to continue to leave it, everything, we'll strive to continue to have a great community, but more importantly, to bring us together in harmony, for us to be kind to each other, tolerant, and to do the best things for our town, which is what we all want. So again, I thank you very much. God bless Howell, God bless the United States of America, and thank you very much for all of your support through the past year. I look forward to working with everyone that's in this room, and I certainly look forward to working with everyone that will be appointed very shortly. Again, thank you so much.
The municipal prosecutor.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint for municipal prosecutor Cleary, Jacoby, and Alfieri.
I'll second that motion.
Are there any other nominations? Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
No.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
No. Appoint the public defender.
I'd like to place a nomination in for Suzanne Brennan.
I will second that motion.
I'd like to make a further motion. I'd like to Raymond Albert Rea appoint as far as public defender.
I will take a roll call on the motion for Suzanne Brennan. Mr. Bonovich?
No.
Ms. Richmond?
All right, no.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
No.
There's something, before we get to this, appoint public defender alternate. Yesterday, it was on the agenda. I printed it on the website, and today, it's not here. That's why I made the second motion. I made the second motion because we had 2 attorneys apply. I looked at both of them. And, you know, conflicts do come up. So now the alternate is removed, and I looked at both of them. They're great attorneys. I have no problem with Mrs. Brennan, but I did some research on her and her firm, and they do a lot of work for local PBAs, and I'm not against that, but I am against if you're working for the PBA, the police department, and you're a public defender.
But
So
does she
that's-
work for Howell Police Department or?
Well, what happens? Police departments work with the police departments, so there should be an alternate. And for the alternate to be removed, you know,
Excuse me.
it should be on this agenda. And I would like to make a motion to appoint an alternate public defender. And that's, I guess, the only 2 applied was Susan and Ray.
If
So I'll
I-
make the motion for Raymond Rea as the alternate public
If I
defender.
may interrupt to my understanding, the reason that the alternate was removed is because they're appointed by the court.
You know what? I listened to that on reorgs last year, and the last clerk, Penny, She said it's either done by us or the courts. So we're here. I did the homework. I'd like to appoint an alternate today.
Brian, if I may, the reorg thing that we got, I don't have that on.
And I do.
Okay, so,
And when I came in today, I noticed the first and second page, all of a sudden there's 25 on one and 28 on the other. That means some more things that were removed, and I'll probably find them as we go
well,
along.
Brian did send an email out asking about the removal of those 2 items.
Not that one.
No, but I'm saying
Not
the
that
social,
one.
the 2 that were
Yes.
removed, show removed on
And I
here.
emailed you and I agreed with the tabling the
Right, right.
social media. Yes.
So there, you're saying there was another one removed?
Yeah, from yesterday till today, the alternate public defender. So knowing, I'm not saying anything bad about her.
I understand.
But if you can't moonlight as a public defender and then defend the police department too. Doesn't work.
Is that not how that works, Joe Clark?
Our past practice in terms of the alternate has been to have the court appoint it, but in terms of potential conflicts, I don't know what her work entails in terms of PBAs, but she has been our public defender for a while, so I don't think her firm does work for the Howell PBA, so.
Well, once again, a motion to appoint an alternate public defender, Raymond Albert Rayer.
If I may, as an alternate has decidedly been an appointment by the court, Mr. Clark or Mr. Geegan, where would that put us in attempting to fill that position this evening?
I believe the court generally appoints that because there's a wide variety of situations where they may need multiple firms.
And last year, the reorg, it was said the other way. It could either be done today or at the courts. So that was the clerk last year. I guess things change. And why would you remove it from today to yesterday? Why? You hiding something?
Can we vote, please?
I think that's an unfair statement, but if I could respectfully submit that we check out the alternate position, and if we are legally obligated, or possibly if we could legally do so, that could be placed on the next agenda, and that appointment could be made. I would rather err on the side of counsel that says the courts make that appointment. So we do have another meeting in 2 weeks.
I made the motion. If there's a second or step.
Well, okay.
Is there a second?
I can step down. So I'll step down to second the motion.
And just to be clear, the motion is to appoint as alternate conflicts public defender.
That's correct.
And the name, I'm sorry, Raymond Raya, is that correct?
Yes. Raymond Albert Rayer Esquire.
Okay. Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
I think what Susan Brennan defending the police department is, very honorable and noble, and I have no problem with that. So with that said, I'm going to vote no.
Nor do I. I don't have a problem with her at all.
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
No.
Mayor Berger?
Yes.
However, my suggestion still stands as a possibility for the next meeting.
And I think that we should give, in all fairness, the applicants that put their paperwork in on time, we should give them that, respect.
They could be notified. That seems reasonable to me.
What do you mean?
Well, the applicant,
Well, you're saying no today, and then we'll look at it again, but this gentleman put his paperwork in, as well as Brennan. Last year, only Brennan put in her paperwork, so we didn't have a chance for an alternate. And we went down this last year. We went down this road.
I remember it differently
Penny-
than you do. I
Yeah.
remember it being an appointment of the court, both.
No, it was either or, and Penny stated that. It could be done here or at the courts. And then Brian jumped in and said it could be chosen from a pool by the judge.
I've said here in Howell, we've generally allowed the court to make that appointment because there's a wide variety of situations where they may need multiple attorneys to represent defendants.
Like I said, I only made that motion for him as another person because it was removed from yesterday's agenda to today. So all of a sudden, we have all this knowledge that is done with the courts, but it was on my paperwork. Thanks.
Well, that's
If I
not true,
may,
Mr. Bonovich. I
Excuse me,
totally
Deputy
disagree.
Mayor, we've taken action, we all voted, we need to move on to the next, and
I agree.
we took a roll call.
We have a motion on the floor.
Well, we were in the process of voting.
No, we voted.
No, it's
We
complete.
voted.
It's complete.
Oh, we did, okay.
We have a motion on the floor, do we not, Madam Clerk, for our public defender?
That one is complete also.
We did, okay, I'm sorry.
That's it.
Been a lot of language since then, my apologies.
Administrative agent for affordable housing matters.
Mayor, I'd like to appoint C, G, P, and H.
And I'll second that?
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes,
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Affordable housing attorney.
I'd like to make the motion for Poshman, Stein, Walder, and Hayden for affordable housing attorney.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Affordable housing planner.
I'd like to make a motion for CME Associates and Leon S. Avakian.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes,
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Architectural services.
I'd like to make a motion for Sedembrino Architects.
I will second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
No.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
yes,
Mayor Berger?
No. Bond counsel.
I'd like to make a motion for Gluck Walworth.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Bonovich?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes,
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Certified tree expert.
I'd like to make a motion for CME Associates.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
yes,
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Consulting engineer.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to appoint T&M Associates, French and Perillo, CME Associates, Mazer Consulting, Nigerian Associates, and Borough Engineering.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
yes,
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Continuing disclosure compliance services.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Acacia Financial Group.
I'll second that.
Did I say it wrong?
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
yes,
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Dental insurance broker.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to appoint CBiz Consulting.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
No.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes,
Mayor Berger?
No. Financial advisory services.
I'll make a motion for SIA Financial Group.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Which one was that?
18.
I have it as 18.
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes,
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Grants consultant.
I'd like to make a motion to have Mazer Consultant as our grants consultant.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes,
Mayor Berger?
Yes. The labor attorney.
I'll make a motion for Cleary, Jacoby, and Alfieri.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
I'd like to also make a motion for Cape Horton Scratchyard, add to that.
Okay, sorry, bear with me one moment.
Jump me.
Okay, so the original motion is for Cleary, Jacoby, Alfieri?
That's correct.
Okay, roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
No.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes,
Mayor Berger?
No.
Is there a second for the motion to add Capehart and Scatcherd?
I'll step down and make a second.
Sorry. Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
No.
Mr. Russo?
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
No.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. We have to, medical director?
Motion for medical director, emergency training and consulting.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Real estate appraisal services.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Sockler Realty Services.
I'll make a second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Rent board attorney.
I'll make the motion for Joe Clark for rent board attorney.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Risk management consultant.
Make the motion for Brown and Brown.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Special counsel.
I'll make a motion for Wiener Law Group, Gluck Walworth, Sonnenblick, Pashman Stein, and Dasty Murphy.
Second that?
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Tax appeal appraisal services.
I'd like to make a motion for Sockler Realty Services and Sterling DeSanto and Associates.
I will second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Tax appeal attorney.
I'd like to make,
a mo-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ev.
I'd like to make a motion for Cleary Jacoby.
I'll second it.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
No.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
No. Tax foreclosure attorney.
I'd like to make a motion for Dasty Murphy.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
No.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
No. Title search services.
Make the motion for Two Rivers Title Company.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Township auditor.
I'd like to make a motion for Hallman Farina Allison.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Township planner.
I'd like to make a motion for Leon Asavakian and CME Associates.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Utility engineer.
I'd like to make a motion for Mazer Consulting, T&M Associates, CME Associates.
Second.
You said Mazer,
I'm sorry.
T&M, and CME, all three?
Mazer, T&M, and CME, yeah.
Okay.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Animal control services 2020.
I'd like to make a motion to place Associated Humane Societies.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
This wasn't, was this here yesterday? I don't see that
It
either.
was at the pre-agenda meeting.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't here. All right. I'm fine with that. Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. We're going to designate the official newspapers. May I have a motion?
Well, that's 35.
If,
They're all empty.
if,
Just give me a minute. Mine are empty.
yeah, well, if I could, Mayor, if, with your permission, I would move 34 to 40. I would reaffirm and make a motion to accept those items.
I'll second that.
Just to clarify, it would be 35 to 40.
Oh, I'm sorry, I included the animals.
Correct.
35 to 40, my apologies. Oh, okay, adopt the 2020 council meeting conduct, Robert's Rules of Order, adopt the 2020 Township Council meeting dates, adopt 2020 temporary budget, and the 2020 tax payment dates, along with the adopt the cash management plan, and reauthorize the petty cash accounts.
You second, right, John?
Yes, I second it, yes.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Designate the newspapers.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint the Asbury Park Press, Tri-Town News, and Star Ledger.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. The tax search official and the assistant tax search official.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Al Jardine to the search official and Amy Cordell to the assistant.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. The assessment search official and the assistant assessment search official.
I'd like to place into nomination Allison Serrani and Susan Minnock.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Public agency compliance officer.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Michael Rizzo.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. So do we want to go down and list everybody that's on this list?
I'd be happy to name them quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, let's push them all at once, one shot.
So the Community Alliance.
I'd like to place in John Aliano, Summer Devers, Jennifer Gottschall, Susan Dominguez, Gianna Ribbon, Kenneth Pecario, Jamie Ziarto, Mary Ellen Lawrence, Joseph Isola, John Hughes, Jamie Higgins, Marnie Ellison Victor, Stephanie Trento, Laura Radazzo, Jose Orozco, Camille Massari, Sergeant Paul Mazzio, Robert Imperto, Chief Andrew Kudrick, Chief Robert Lewis, Officer Maureen McBride, Officer Mike Pavlik, Ronald Sanasak, Brian Procknell, Karen Pringle, Fran Schneider, Dan Flounders, Abby Boxman, and Dina Cohen.
I'll second.
Yep, it's fine.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Did you not put the names into the environmental?
That's yours.
No, I gave her the information.
Oh.
Did- You didn't put it in?
John's got them.
How come yours is different from mine? But how come yours is different from mine? Yours is filled in, mine's not filled in. This is mine, just my perfect copy. But shouldn't we all have that?
You do? I didn't.
You have it?
I gave you what I had,
Right.
and I gave Mr. Bonovich what I had.
Right, you should all have the same thing. I just have my own copy. And I
In a minute. So for the Environmental Commission, there's Joan Osborne, Jerry Bluestein, Lisa Dowd, Peter Pastorino, and Joan Osborne is chair. Is that how we had it?
Yeah, one's an alternate, though.
We need a second alternate, yes. I don't have that.
It's
So I
Peter-
could do it
no,
at the next meeting.
I'll second that. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't need a second, it's your appointment.
No second needed.
Okay. The Farmers Advisory Committee.
I'd like to make a motion to place Mary Ann Cernick.
I'll second. I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Municipal Green Team.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to appoint the following. Mayor, you, Teresa Berger. Township Council Person Designee, Evelyn O'Donnell, Deputy Mayor. Township Manager, Brian Geegan. Purchasing Agent, Michael Rizzo. Public Works Designee, Paul Novello. Director of Community Development, James Herman. Member 1, and the following are going to be member 1-year term. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Member 1-year term Environmental Commission, Nicholas Huzar. Member 1-year term Planning Board, Brian Tannenhouse. Member 1-year term Shade Tree Commission, Richard Mertens. Member 1-year term Lake Restoration, Mary Ann Cernak. And the following, there's 7 spots, Jerry Barron, Matthew Cook, Robert Seaman, Lisa Dowd, John Nelia, Fred Dare, Matt Gonzalez, Stephanie Surgeon.
Second?
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Lake Restoration and Wildlife.
I'd like to make a motion for our 5-year member term, Ed Runyon. Alternate member 1, 5-year term, Vlad Markov. Alternate 1 member, 5-year term, John Leggio. And then the chair, Ed Runyon.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Matitaconk Watershed Protection Alliance.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint John Nahilia to a 1-year term.
Second?
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Mobile Home Rent Control Board.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to appoint for the member park owner 3-year term Cindy Lou Jordan. Alternate park owner 1-year term Robert Ruiz. Alternate non-member 1-year term myself. Can I do that? Joe, can I appoint myself?
It would probably be better if somebody else handled the motion.
I'll make the appointment for the alternate non-member tenant 1 year for Tommy Russo.
Thank you, John. And I guess I'll go back to me. The chairman, Glenn Cantor.
And I will second all of them.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. A Planning Board.
I'd like to make a motion for the Class 3 1-year term council member Evelyn O'Donnell, Class 4 4-year term Robert Seaman, Class 4 4-year term Michael Bozovic, alternate 1 member 2-year term John Leggio.
I will second them.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. I would like to nominate Chief Kudrick for the Class 2 1-year term official township.
I'll second that. Does it need a second?
You don't need a second.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
It's an appointment. yeah.
Preservation Task Force.
I'd like to nominate Janelle Coughlin.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Shade Tree Commission. Thank you. I would like to appoint Lisa Dowd and Dawn Van Brunt. Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Can we do this one at a time?
Sure.
Sure. I'd like to make a nomination member 4-year term, Paul Saya.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
No.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
No.
I'd like to nominate member 4-year term, Richard Mertens.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes.
I'd like to nominate alternate two-member, two-year term, Matt Gonzalez.
I will second that.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Okay, let's get down to regular business then.
Mayor, can I say a couple words?
Please.
Just want to thank everybody for putting in applications. You know, the fact that we have so many volunteers and not enough spots shows that how strong of a town we are. Really, I wish I could appoint everybody. Really appreciate it. If you didn't make it this year, please continue to sign up and put your name out there. Again, it's really appreciated that we have so many residents stepping up for completely volunteer positions that make our town great. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm sure we all do. I certainly do. Thank you.
Mayor?
Please.
Also, Mr. Robert Nash had originally put in his application for the planning board and later withdrew it because his employment commitments are too large. So he has served 2 years as the chair of the planning board, so I would like to thank him for all the time he's put in, and his dedication and his expertise was always welcomed. So thank you very much for doing that, and we're sorry that your workload is not going to permit you to be with us this year. Should it change, hopefully you'll look at us again next year. So Mr. Nash, thank you.
I second that.
May I? Thank you.
Absolutely.
So first of all, Happy New Year. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. As a first-time council member, I have to say it's been a different experience for me. 2019 is behind us. We talked about that, and 2020 is ahead of us. I'm actually looking forward to working with all the professionals, all the volunteers, the current council. I think after the year we had under our belt, I think we have more experience now, and we'll get much more done, I'm hoping. So thank you, everybody, for volunteering, helping keep Howell as amazing as it is, and why we all live here and moved here. And I'm looking forward to a wonderful 2020. So thank you, everyone.
No? Okay. Do we have any reports?
No, Mayor.
Can we talk about what happened in court 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago? Our affordable housing?
Sure. Our agreement that was posted in front of the judge was finally approved, our settlement. So we have our builder's remedy protection through the next round, which is 2025. And it was the agreement that's been advertised all along at 895 units.
The big thing. And Tommy and I guess I will make one quick comment. You know, we got builder's remedy to 2025, but, you know, we all know time flies. So this year, we're going to start working towards that to get ahead of that curve, so we're not playing catch-up. I don't want us to throw another Hail Mary and hope it works. This time it worked. You know, the mayor made a great, you know, started out 1,200, we have 800, now we have so many credits. It worked out. But next time, we might not be so lucky. So that's this year. We're going to work for 2026.
Great idea.
Yes, and I concur, Mr. Bonovich. I had spoken to the attorney, and he is trying to gather some towns together, and we're going to take a gallant effort at possibly changing the statute. So I'm hoping all of our Democratic friends in Trenton can see their way clear to giving Howell a break. So with any luck, maybe they'll see it our way. But at any rate, you know, even after we had the numbers and we came up with the different properties that we were going to use, we were already looking at things that we could use for the next round when it came. So I'm thankful for that. Also, at the last meeting, I had asked Mr. Herman to come in with a report for the shared services that we were able to do with the county for the trees, the trimming and the removal of trees. But I think that I should wait for the next meeting, and then Mr. Herman can go ahead and give me the full report, as I had requested. So if that's okay with everyone, I'd like to wait till the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay. I would like a motion to accept the minutes, please, from December 10th.
So moved, Mayor.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Barker?
I believe I was not there.
Your December meeting, you were out.
I believe I
Yeah.
abstained.
Sorry about that.
Any hearing of citizens? Barbara Dixell? Where did we get them? Brian, where did the flowers come from?
Allison can take credit for those.
They're beautiful.
I didn't arrange them, but Kirk Florist did.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Congratulations to everybody and Happy New Year. Let's hope we have a good year and everybody's in agreement and we pass a lot of good stuff. 9A6,
Brian?
Yes, Mayor. This resolution, along with several others that are worded similarly, are from our purchasing agent. He needs to disclose that there's the potential that we're going to expend over $17,500 with them in a rolling calendar year. So he's taken the opportunity to pass these all at once. These are all companies that we generally do business with. This specific one has to do with our computer network here in the building.
okay, and this is done on a regular basis?
Yes.
Okay. Because everything today is computer-driven, I don't want any surprises. 9A9.
The same thing would apply to this. This company is one that our DPW relies heavily on for truck parts,
Okay.
for repairs.
9A13.
This has to do with the budget, the monies that were left over from last year. The CFO is transferring some money into our snow trust for salt and the like.
We had money left over from last year?
Yes.
Okay, so then why, when you passed the budget, you went over the 2% cap? People made a whole bunch of stuff to make it possible to go over the 2% cap. If you had money left over, put the money for your 2% cap and put the stuff you put for the 2% cap back in your budget.
Well, we had money
Spend
left
what the
over.
money you have. Don't spend money you don't have.
We had money left over because it's constantly exercise of reducing our operation.
Again, I'm going to say, if you went over the 2% cap and made yourself resolutions to be able to go over the 2% cap, naughty, naughty. Spend only the money you have, live on what you can afford to live on, not what you have to go, make all kinds of arrangements to go over it. People in this country need to learn to live on their budget. 9A19.
This is related to an emergency that was declared at the police department. We had a severe leak in the roof, so this is the final closeout for that.
And you put a new roof on.
No.
Okay, and it was repaired?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. All right, Mayor and Council, like I said, congratulations again for the year, and I'm going to tell you all what I told them. Please, no matter what you want to pass this year, get together, put your heads together. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. You all work together and you're all elected to serve us. Spend only the money we can afford to spend. Don't go over your budget. Don't think, oh boy, it's a great thing, I want it. Don't make resolutions that are gonna make it available. Live within our means. That's how we're gonna have money in the bank. Please, thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Is there anyone else that wants to come up? There's no one else on the list.
Good evening, Council.
Good
My
evening.
name's Herb Seller. I'm a resident of Howell, 276 Locust Avenue, as well as a resident of Lakewood, 325 Miller Road. I hold dual residencies. I came to address, first of all, I want to tell everybody in here Happy New Year. I hope we have a successful year here in Howell Township as well as in the United States. I have a concern, though. I want to speak for you people, and I want to speak for everybody in this room and people that can't hear my voice. I guess we all watch TV, and we notice what's going on in this country. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of shootings going on, both churches, synagogues, and schools. We all have children. We all believe in one faith. No matter what it is, we have our own denominations. We have a right to protect ourselves. I am asking that the Township of Howell declare a Second Amendment sanctuary city to be the second one. The city of Milford in Passaic County was the first in the state of New Jersey. Police cannot be everywhere to protect us at all times. We all have children. We worry about our children in school. 2 parishioners 2 weeks ago in the state of Texas were able to take down an armed assailant that killed a couple people in the church. Why? Because these people were ready. We have to also do something like this. Now, New Jersey law says that we're not allowed to carry guns. Send a message to that governor from me and the people of New Jersey. Criminals do not obey their gun laws. We have to protect our own families. Your children, you love them, your parents, your husbands, your wives, whatever you may have, they're our loved ones. If we don't protect them, they may not be here one day. We have to move on this now. Don't wait till something happens or if it happens. It may happen. It'll be on your conscience. I want to see everybody have a safe year. I want to see we all live in peace, but I also want to see that there's not a drop of Howell blood or any other blood in any other township or any other state that we could have prevented because political views. There's 13 states already, including the state of New Jersey, that have adopted a red state law. It's not if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. We all bleed red. Let's protect our families. Let's protect our children. Let's protect our schools. Let's protect ourselves. I'm going to ask that you people consider passing the town of Howell a Second Amendment friendly sanctuary city. Please. And I thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Herb.
Happy New Year, everyone. You
Happy
would get
New
away
Year.
this year without me. So, first I want to start 1 year mark. You're all together. Good times, bad times, it's been up and down. I really would like to see you guys work together more. I think a cohesive council makes a cohesive professional board here. And even today, I've noticed there's not a cohesive feeling in this room. So that's the first thing. Work together. I didn't vote Republican, I didn't vote Democrat, I voted for your person. So just do what's best for the town. Deputy Mayor O'Donnell, I said I would bring up the minutes. I don't want to argue over this. I want to let you know, I personally think that you should take it on a case-by-case basis. You want to hold it to 5 minutes, that's fine. But when you add stuff on last minute, I think it has to be a case-by-case basis. This can't just be, that's it. I try very hard to stand up here, ask my questions, get my answers, and move on. I, of course, respect everybody in this room that wants to ask questions. It's very hard to get the public out here, the meetings, and you know what? The ones that do come out and the ones that do question and want to be involved, I think they should have a right to speak, and if they need a little extra time, and it's not so much as harping on a subject that you should work with the residents and let them ask their questions, especially with last-minute add-ons. As for minutes, I understand what the minimum requirement is for your minutes. As a resident, we want transparency. I don't expect to transcribe minutes. What I expect is that if my comment doesn't make sense to me and it doesn't reflect what I feel, I respectfully ask for something minimal and not asking to be over about, I would appreciate at least having my comment. Whatever you want to do with your comments, you do it. You have the right, you could talk to the clerk right away. You change them before we even see them. So as a resident, if it's my comment, it should be within reason. I don't think somebody should come up here and tell you how to rate the whole thing. But within reason, I think you should respect that. And I'm disappointed last meeting that you voted to do that without adding my one sentence to my comment. So I would hope in the future that you all just respect the residents, respect our transparency that we'd like, and allow us to converse with you, because really, this is our only chance. We're not out there. So after that, boards and appointments. Guys, get together. It's the same people on the same boards, multiplying, and I understand if they're on a board to reappoint them to a board. What I don't understand is why one person gets put on 3 boards. Let's spread it out. You just said we have a lot of volunteers. Give somebody else a chance on a board if you have to. You know, mix it up a little. It doesn't need to be the same people on the same boards. And a lot, I believe, have a conflict of interest. And you guys need to go with each other. I'm vocal. You don't want to put me on a board. I'm fine with that. I can understand that. I've been bullied by political parties and everything else. I've been going through this, and I'm tired of being bullied, and I will not back down to any bullying. So I hope you understand. I'm here to stay, and I'm here to talk. So this year, I would really like to see you guys look over the ordinance for political signs. People are tired of them. I mean, when we went with the Board of Ed, everybody was happy Christy Mangano never put a sign out. It was a thing. I know that's not possible, but we have a big election coming up. Can we make a determination, let's keep the signs one size, and maybe put a distance between each sign? I mean, let's just respect our property and respect our town, and let's not garbage it all up with all these signs. It's election year, it's a big election year, I know. Let's try to rein it in a little bit.
I think that's a great idea. I
And
think
be
it's fabulous,
respectful.
because a lot of people leave their signs.
Yes, there's signs up still, and you know what? People put signs up for other people, so I can understand why they're there. People don't know where they are, and this and that. It happens. It's not, but let's kind of rein it in a little bit. Just things for you to discuss. Will there be a State of a Town address this year? That's in our bylaws that we're supposed to have a State of Town address every year.
Mayor, the council has provided a synopsis of the financial situation of the town every year when I introduce the budget to you. So I believe that's what she's referring to.
No, the State of a Union, it's supposed to be said in public, either by you or by the mayor, whoever wants to do it, on the state of the town and everything we've gone through, kind of like a recap of what happened during the year. It's totally separate from your budget statement. So please look into that. It's just very informative to the residents when we can hear what you've accomplished, where you're going, what you're doing. It's a great opportunity for them. It's a great opportunity for you, just to recap everything.
I love the idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Another thing is solicitors that are going through our town. You know, they all have permits. They all put them in through the clerk's office. Is there a way we can get that put on our website, who is permitted and who is approved to be soliciting in our town, so people know?
Yeah, we should be able to add that.
Thank you. Newspapers. I understand why you want Star Ledger on there, but like reorg, that was in the Asbury Park Press and the Star Ledger. $38, we don't need to put real org in the Star Ledger. I know $38 is nothing, but can we be a little more mindful of how we're spending money on these newspapers? I understand with the big bids, you want them out there so many people can, but for the smaller things like this, there was no reason for it. It was $38 for the Star Ledger. It was $14 for the Asbury Park Press. Press was fine. Howell Times is fine. Tri-Town News is here. Give them a little, I'm sure he'd love to put it up for us.
Excuse me, Mayor, it's been 5 minutes.
I'm almost done.
That's okay.
As far as the alternate for the public defender, in 2015, it's called the Conflicts Public Defender, which is assigned, and in 2015, under R15-5, the resolution, same exact people. It was Brennan that was the main public defender, and the Conflicts Public Defender was Rhea. So this is something normal. I mean, I think it's incorrect that you said alternate. I think the proper thing that should be on there is Conflicts Public Defender. And that might settle the little dispute here, so we can have both defenders on there, and you have somebody to back up. So, I mean, every year you can go back, every year up until 2019, where you only had one person that applied.
That's what I did.
Before that, it was two or more people every year, so you had that's what you had. So, just my 2 cents, I think it's a great idea to have both of them there. You never know. We double up on a lot of these people in case there's a conflict. Lastly is, what I'd like you to look into, and I don't know if you will, but residents can get together and do it too. I'd like to see this board go nonpartisan. I'm tired of looking Democrats, Republicans, everybody's tired of it. I think it's an option we have in this town is to do a nonpartisan run. I mean, it's not something we can do this year, but it's something moving forward that I would like to see. Maybe, I don't know if we can, put it on the ballot. Of course, if your guys are interested, I know that the residents in our form of government can get together, sign it, get enough signatures, and we can have it put on the ballot. But I think it would be great coming through you saying, you know, as a whole, we're tired of partisan politics. Let's just drop all the Democrat, Republican, and let's go nonpartisan and be done with this. And I think that would be a great thing. And lastly, there was $8,000 put into administration for salaries. Why did we go over budget on admin and the salaries?
I would have to check on that and get back to you.
Okay. So, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck this year. We're all rooting for you because you guys doing a good job is good for our town. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I have one or two more things to say. Regarding soliciting, I need you to be all very careful. There are places in Howell Township where there is no soliciting allowed. Village is being one of them. There's a sign out in front of it, no soliciting. And so if you're going to put out places where people are soliciting, people don't want their areas full of people knocking on their door. Let me sell you this TV station, let me sell you this. Not such a great idea to do that. People want their privacy, and they should be entitled to have it. But there's plenty of areas in Howell Township that don't allow soliciting, and I don't think it should be a good idea to even for you guys to let it happen. And as far as signs go, my one thing to you, caution all of you. I don't know who's running, I don't want to know who's running. I'm going to address it as Jane Doe and John Doe. When people are running for office in this town, as I've seen it in every other town, people put their signs up, and all of a sudden, the next candidate takes the sign down. I want him to beat the guy, so I'm taking his sign down, and I'm putting my sign up. Please, I understand everybody wants to win what they want to win, and they're running for office. Respect your running mates, and don't let signs disappear because I want to win, and I'm taking the other guy's sign down. Just please respect each other. Because this goes on all the time, and I hear it out of the villages, and I hear it out of Surrey Downs, and I hear it all over the place. Please respect each other, and respect each other's right to maybe want to win, and maybe not, I don't know, but just respect each other, and don't go tearing signs down, because this one wants to win, and I don't want this one to win. That's all I'm asking, cautioning all of you. Just respect each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, are we up to the resolution?
Is all the public done speaking? Okay. I had responded to Mrs. Smilek about some of her concerns, but I don't want to take up public speaking time to answer her questions. So what would the council like? Should I answer her questions from the dais, or would you prefer that I meet with her privately? Because I can do either.
Is she still here, Tina?
She's still here. Can you be more specific, Deputy Mayor?
Mrs. Smythe had asked me, via email, about the minutes and basically the 5-minute rule that I had enforced. And for instance, tonight, we had reaffirmed some of the things that we live by, basically, one of them being the protocol, which we again reafirmed this evening, but.
So you're
I
asking
mean,
if you
I
should
have-
discuss it now or
yeah.
in private?
I have the information
I think
that
in
I hope-
private. That's
Okay,
me.
I can do either. Because actually, I thought you were upset that I would be speaking from the dais.
No, you can
That's-
speak from the dais if you want. I have nothing to hide.
Okay.
I mean, even in, and what, you want to bring it up, even in here, you only put part of the protocol in the policy and on the agenda now, saying that you want to keep it to 5 minutes. The actual policy states that a resident can request a 3-minute
Yes.
Additions.
addition.
Yeah.
I was trying to be respectful, and your position up there, asking you if I could come back because you wanted to give everybody else. And if you were out of time, I would understand that. So I was upset because you in turn, kept saying, did anybody want to come up and say, okay, Tina, we have time, you can come back up now. So that's where I was upset.
Okay, well, I mean, I watched the meeting again many, many times, but I do want to say that on the protocol, page 2, number 3, it speaks to the amount of time allotment. However, when I'd asked, for you to basically go with the 5-minute rule, which you did, and you sat down when everyone was done, and people, as you know, come up that do not sign the sheet, and I understand that as well, that's pretty commonplace. When I ask if anyone else would like to come up, that's the time that I would assume that most people would come up and ask any other questions that they may have. No one that I know of has ever in the history of Howell said, Mrs. Smith, would you like to come back? Mr. Jones, would you like to come back?
Maybe it was a misunderstanding between the both of us because I expected you to call me back up. I didn't want to come up, and when you closed it, and personally me, I would turn around and say, Tina, didn't you want to come back up? Or something like that. I mean, we're all personal here. We all know each other. If you just want to, maybe it's a miscommunication between the two of us. I'll chalk it up for that, and I'd feel better if you would say, Tina, maybe we had a miscommunication, and maybe this or that, and would be the way to settle it. I'm not here to argue.
Okay,
I mean,
well-
and the questions I had were on items you added. It wasn't like it was on the main agenda. I was within my 5 minutes on the main agenda. If you don't want questions afterwards, don't add on to the agenda.
And if it were add-ons, my position was you could come back. Now, my experience coming to meetings is that no one is ever recalled by name. In the future, if I am running a meeting, I will certainly do that. I will recall people by name. But when I say it several times, anyone else like to speak, my assumption is that people do come back. So if this is a miscommunication, then let's call this a miscommunication.
Okay.
But it was never meant to silence you. I have never said to anyone, you are not permitted to speak. I would never do that. This is still the American society that we live in. It's still the U.S.
I would just
of A.
appreciate if you go by the policy, then let's do the 3-minute rule and extend for 3 minutes. I was almost up. I really try to stand up here. I try to ask my questions. Once they're answered, I try to move on. So I don't think, and if I haven't, I apologize, but I don't think there's ever been a time where I haven't just moved on after I asked a question.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, I'm not gonna-
I thought it was very unfair, but let's chalk it up to maybe it was a miscommunication between the both of us. And let's move on from there, and let's try in the future just to be, I want it to be as transparent as possible, reasonably transparent as possible, because we don't need minimums, we need transparency. And if a resident's here, look, we hardly have anybody in this, and you know as well as I do out of how many years, how many people show up here. And they only show up on usual things, so.
in years past, you know that there's been lines up and down the sides of the rooms in the old
Yes.
building. So there have been
With-
times that public
In
session.
the old building, when we were when we were buying Global
No,
Building and
no,
all that.
prior, but that's neither here nor there.
Deputy Mayor, can we've talked about this, you were going to do it in private.
I agree.
Okay, I appreciate you coming here and airing that out, but we have an agenda to get to, so if you don't mind, with all due respect, thank you.
I believe that would be the mayor's choice, but thank you.
We'll continue. If you have anything else, Mrs. Meyer, please, let's
I
talk
can make
after
a
the
motion.
meeting. Please.
Close the
My
public.
apologies.
Okay. Can we do the resolutions?
All right. I'd like to make a motion to move 9A1 through 9A22 and motion 9B1.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Are there any public hearings on ordinances?
Nothing.
Introduction of ordinances?
Nothing.
Unfinished business? For information purposes, the municipal building will be closed January 20th, 2020, in observance of Martin Luther King Day. And the regular meeting is January 21st, executive session 6:30, regular session 7:30.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn, please.
Second.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Happy New Year. And I just wanted to say, I received a lot of support from members in the town and employees of the town when my father passed away, so I just want to say thank you to everybody who sent me cards and good wishes. Thank you.
May we have a roll call, please, to adjourn? Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes.